Jurassic Paul versus Neckzilla. Sounds like a damn monster movie. That's my Carl Weathers impression, by the way. This is a fan request from you guys, the viewers. You guys wanted to see Paul Dillett, like I said, Jurassic Paul, versus this big newcomer, Rubiel Mosquera, otherwise known as Neckzilla, of course. Prog Pro version of him. Gonna use the 93, 94 Paul. A little of this, a little of that. This is a photo shoot, of course. His torso heap, some of the best in the business. He is literally Frankenstein. It looks like they took the best abs, the best midsection, best biceps, things of that nature, calves, quads. For his time, Paul had probably the biggest quads out there. A guy like Dorian Yates, his quads weren't the biggest, guys, with all due respect to your Dorianites. It was next level stuff when Ronnie Coleman came with those just massive, unruly sized quads. But yeah, and here's an onstage. Quads look even smaller for Paul. Maybe these old pictures just don't do him justice, but he is very sleek. And no, he wouldn't make weight for classic physique. That's not what I'm going to say here, but he looks very classical in the design of his physique. He could lose some weight and he would definitely have a classic physique in this front double. That is, you go to the next shot, front lat spread. All of the poses did not translate very well for Paul. This one in particular. Clavicle width. Now, I don't want to say he had a narrow clavicle because you guys get on my case. But, guys, for his height, and he was taller than advertised. He wasn't 6'1". I can Google stuff too, you know. You gotta look into it. He was definitely more than 6'1". He was a giant. And for that height, which would probably be 6'3", closer to 6'4", his clavicle wasn't all that wide. Definitely wasn't all that wide. And it shows up in a pose like this. Rubiel Mosquera. I mean, this guy is unbelievable. Not just a big hunk of meat. Take a look. I've seen some comments. Just a big pile of muscle. No, this is a very intricate. I mean, is the pyramid a pile of rocks? No. He's a very intricately built man. Turn to the side here because Paul Dillett, from the side, his wheels were the biggest in the IFBB. Prior to, say, Ronnie King Coleman really advancing in size and things of that nature, around 98, 99. But yeah, I mean, look, guys, this was the biggest wheels back then compared to Rubiel Mosquera, and you know what? Compare him with anybody nowadays, and he's going to be doing the same thing. Now, upper body, Paul's arms are king. I mean, I wasn't really mentioning it in the front double. You guys could see he was dominant in that aspect. Guns almighty. Look at the delts on the guy. So upper body, yeah, you could say Paul's winning from the front double and the side chest, for that matter. Turn to the side tricep. Paul never liked this one. Never liked the way he hit this shot. He went flat with his torso. Now it is fair. You can see his tricep itself, and it looks very meaty. And the wheel itself, that is incredible. Look at that. Is he holding his own against Neckzilla in the leg department? I don't know. I don't think anybody could. I honestly don't think anybody could. Now here's from 1996, if I'm not mistaken. Paul did open up a little bit. Somebody was at him. Come on, Paul, you gotta work on your posing. Things of that nature. But I mean, Paul, his strong point, his leg, he's getting defeated in that aspect. Have a look at the back here. Paul Dillett not getting bullied as much as I thought he was going to. He had some steroided glutes. Make no mistake about it there, mate. Definitely ripped up in that aspect. But you do a direct comparison. You totally forget about these guys are from a bunch of different decades in between them. Forget about the advancements in bodybuilding. Take a time machine, bring Paul ahead. And honestly, guys, you got to be brutal with this one. Paul would not be in the condition of the nowadays guys in certain shots. And I know that sounds mean because for his time, he was probably condition-wise, he was right there with the Sean Rays, things of that nature in these glutes, hamstrings, things of that nature. But look at Quadzilla from behind. This guy is a horse. Actually, that's Horse MD. And obviously, there's no good pictures of the rear lat. Well, here's from 93. This is 93 Paul Dillett. It's a blurry picture. You can definitely see he was not that symmetrical, but back in 93, his back lat spread may be the best that he had to offer. I think it got worse with time. Big traps. But ultimately, Rubiel Mosquera, otherwise known as Neckzilla, probably winning both back shots, I would estimate. Abs and thigh, this is a beautiful pose for Paul. Out of all the big guys that were pushing 300 pounds, what was Paul? 280? 290? Well, whatever he was, there was nobody at that juncture, that weight, that size, with a crisp midsection like Paul Dillett. This was, honestly, guys, in ranks with the ab setup of a Sean Ray. Even Lee Priest might. You ever have a look at his six-pack? Some of the best in the business all through the 90s, babies please. Rubiel, he's got some quads here. Hey, he's got abs. But upper body-wise, Paul is the man. The man. Most muscular. He does look like Frankenstein here, Paul. Look at the size of the delts. Didn't need the widest clavicle. His delts more than made up for it. And there's a lot of shots here, guys, that honestly I would give to Paul Dillett. And, here's at the end of the day. We have an end of the day, a standing, hands clasped. Of course it's a standing. They don't do too many of the splits between these two dudes. I guess Andrew Jack, he can pull off the splits, but I don't think Paul Dillett, I don't think he had the juncture. Actually, Rubiel, he might be able to do it. It'd be interesting to see. But yes, a lot of shots. Like this one in particular, I probably would go with Paul Dillett. As a whole, I'm going to say Rubiel, he might get an edge due to the fact that he is a current competitor. We got to be nice to these guys. Actually, I'd give Rubiel the front lat. I'd give Paul the front double. Side chest, I was probably going to give to Paul. And side tricep, you're going to go with Rubiel. So it's pretty much a tie game heading into the back. And I had, obviously, Rubiel winning both of those shots. And it is close in the most muscular. I was going with Paul and the abs and thigh. But realistically, I'm going to go with Rubiel because he was a little bit more complete. And that rear lat spread and even the rear double, it was not bad for Paul, the one that I did show. But still, not that bad doesn't mean that it was that good either. So the rear lat, even worse. You're missing a couple of shots pretty much altogether. Yeah. Other than that, though, guys, Paul, pretty dominant. Just a couple of shots that he was missing. Just a couple. Not much to ask. But it is a very important couple of shots nonetheless. It is of some debate considering Paul pretty conditioned. So I can almost guarantee some of you Paul pullers will be letting me have it in the comment section below. Must have trained pretty heavy, Paul? He trained hard and heavy? Let me know that in the comment section below, too. You set me straight on that. Hit thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Love and appreciate all your comments and requests, including this one. Good idea. Have a nice one.